Hello, good evening, and welcome to the first KIKI'S chat show of 2023. Today is the 18th of January, 2023, and our topic today is New Year, new ideas, new hopes, new strengths. Have things changed back to normal, or is the new normal different from normal? One of the questions I always ask at the beginning of the year is, when do people stop saying Happy New Year? Happy New Year to all of you. But when do we stop saying Happy New Year? Do we keep saying Happy New Year to the end of the month? Or do we say it for a week or two and then stop? People, I need to tell you one thing. It is so cold. It is so cold. We've been in the minuses, -3, -2. You're at home, the heating is on, it's still cold. That's why I've got my trusty. This is one of my most favorite scarves that a very kind person gave to me. And I have loved it for years and I still have it. I just love it. And today, as it's my first show of the year, I thought I would sit here with my trusty scarf to give me courage and for us to be able to talk about things. Today, I would like us to, when I say new strengths, new hopes, new beginnings, it's because every new year, this is what happens. People have goals and they make all sorts of resolutions. But I stopped making resolutions years ago. I don't do resolutions anymore. I just have goals. And I just, as I'm growing older, it's working. The goals are working because I am mindful of them and I'm careful of them. And somehow some of my goals do come through. So a new year makes you think of many things. And we've had COVID. COVID has been a shattering situation in our lives. And we are still losing loved ones, although not as we did before, in a different way now. And it's just simple. So I don't know, but on the track of goals, I think that some of my goals I will share with you. I have decided that I'm going to keep in touch with friends and family, whether they keep in touch with me or not. I will do that. And I will ask of people when I think of them or when they come into my mind. I will kind of set loose routines and rituals. So, which means that I will create new habits. For example, if I wake up in the morning, I do certain things. If I'm going to bed, I do certain things. And as I'm growing, it's beginning to be me. And I remember to pray, for example. So, you don't have to pray to my God. We have different gods. We have different spiritual roots. So you pray, you do you. But basically, this is what I'm going to do. I've promised myself I'm going to eat well and carefully. And I'm going to eat a variety of simple things and treat myself sometimes and as often as possible. I'm going to do that. That is one of my goals. One of the things that I encourage my family to do is to eat more African foods. We're Africans. Our bodies are created in that way. So I am encouraging my people, my family, to eat more African foods. You don't have to eat everything as it is, but you can make variations. You can research and investigate why we eat certain things, familiarize yourself with it and eat it. You will find that they are healthier, because some of them you have to cook from scratch, because you won't get it from Sainsbury's, Tesco's, or any of these shops. So another thing I'm doing is reducing my sugar intake. What I want to do is, by the end of this year, I would have cut it out completely, but it's really difficult. So still, there's sugar in certain things. We sometimes cook with sugar. We bake with sugar. So it's difficult, but we will get there. And if you want to come along with me, let's try it and see. Now, my biggest thing is to be kind to myself and to people immediately around me. That is something which I started years ago. And sometimes it's difficult to be kind to yourself. However, I am trying, and it works. It works sometimes. But, for example, even having this cloth around me is me being kind to myself, because if I'm coming on a show, I really should present myself in a certain way, but please, I'm cold. So I'm being kind to myself. This is one example, and I'm sticking to it. The final thing is always be mindful that individuals are going through some serious battles daily. Now, these battles are not written on people's faces. So please, be careful how you treat people. Be careful how you talk to people. Think before you speak. Sometimes when people speak to us, we kind of feel that we should reply at once. But I'm learning to, when someone says something to me, I think before I answer. Maybe it's because of my age, I don't know, but I am learning to think before I answer. And it's one of those things that we have to learn, even young people. Some of us, it's taking us a long time because we react very quickly to what people say, but we shouldn't. We should think and then speak. Today, because it's the first time, I haven't got the first show of the year. And because I have not invited anyone onto my show, I had someone coming on, but I said to her, because it's my first show, I need to do it by myself, just so that, we kind of get a hang on to how we're going to go forward. I thought I'd tell you a story that someone in my childhood told me years ago, and I remembered bits of it. And then I went onto the internet to try and find the story. I couldn't find it. So I'm going to tell you it as I remember it. And it's an interesting story, but I think it will propel us into all the things that we want to do for this year. The story is this. There was once a very rich man in a nice town who had everything he needed and more. He owned all the shops and factories in the town and even in the neighboring towns. He had many wives and a lot of happy children. Because he was rich, his wives were happy. One day, he heard a very high-level spiritual monk was going to be passing through his town. Now, this monk was known to a lot of people because he had a lot of power. He gave people wishes and they all came true, or he would tell you your future, or he would heal the sick. So he was very powerful. So this man decided that he would host the monk, and he arranged a big welcome with his family, his children, and all of that. He had his cooks arrange loads of food and drink, and he invited the monk over. The monk came. There was happy merriment, eating, drinking, and all of that. At the end of the evening, the monk said he had to go. So he packed his things, thanked the rich man for his hospitality. And as he was leaving, the rich man said, "Are you not going to offer me anything in return? I have given you all this food. I have entertained you. I have done all of this purely for you. Give me something." And the rich man and the monk said, "Okay." So he gave him 4 lamps. And these 4 lamps, he said, anytime you need money, anytime you need money to pay for something, or you need money to do something big, take 1 lamp, light it, head into the forest, and keep going until the lamp dies, or the word is extinguished. So until the lamp is extinguished, right there where the lamp is extinguished, take a pickaxe or whatever, dig deep into the ground, and you will get a lot of riches. Take those riches, sell them, do whatever, and pay for whatever it is you have to pay for. Afterwards, if you need money again, take the 2nd lamp, head south. Go deep into the forest in the south, do the same thing. When the lamp extinguishes, stop, dig deep, you will find more riches, take them out, and come and do whatever it is you need with them. Do the same with the 3rd lamp, head north. When the fire extinguishes, stop, dig right there, and take the money out. So, and the man asked him, "And what about the 4th lamp?" He said, do not. You would have had enough. Do not light that lamp. Anyway, everybody said bye-bye, and the monk left. After the monk had left, immediately after the monk left, the rich man headed west. He lit the lamp and started walking. It took him far deep into the forest, and then the lamp died. Right there, he dug deep. He found jewels, gold, a lot of gold. He packed all of the things onto his wheelbarrow, drove it back into his house, hid all of the gold, came back out, and headed south. Now, he didn't even wait to need the money. And this is a man who's already rich, and he did not need that money at that time. However, he headed south. So there he found gold, he found diamonds, he found so many lamps, all sorts. He collected all of these things, put them on his gigantic wheelbarrow, wheeled it back to his house, stuck them in a room, and then came back, took the 3rd lamp, lit it, and marched north. North took him far away into areas he'd never seen, over hills. The lamp was still on, over hills, over rivers, until suddenly, poof, the lamp died. There again, he dug deep. He found all of the money, all of the gold, all the diamonds, precious jewels, and he lugged them all back to his house. The fourth time, as he was going, his wife said, "The monk said, don't light it." But he was determined for more. So he lit the lamp and just went. This particular lamp actually directed him. So he was just holding the lamp and the lamp was going. Now, this story is from the olden times, so you can imagine there was no compass, but the lamp knew exactly where to take him. He went over hills, over rivers, over mountains, over forges, until he got to an area where there was a door. It was like a cave, and in front of the cave, there was a door. Suddenly, the lamp died. So he moved forward, looked around, and then tried to open the door. And as he opened the door, it opened. And then he saw some stairs. And at the bottom of the stairs, he saw a bright light. So with excitement, he knew that there was going to be more riches for him. So he went happily down the stairs. And at the bottom of the stairs, to his shock, he was in a beautiful palace with many rooms. And every room, everywhere he looked, the chandeliers, the lights, the jewelry in all the rooms, gold on the floor, precious jewels everywhere, money in coins everywhere, in sacks, in bags. And as he was dancing gaily, happily, and thinking, oh my God, and this whole palace, and he heard a sound like a mill. And I don't know how to describe it to you, but in Africa, in Ghana, for example, we do have a certain mill where they mill corn and it goes around, it's on the floor, and it's a stone mill on top of a stone mill. And so all the corn is in there, and you just keep going around like this, and then corn flour keeps coming out of it. And he could hear this mill, and he thought, oh, let me go and see what is there. So he goes off, and he sees an old man doing this old mill, turning it around like that. So the old man says, hey, who are you? And he says, oh, I have come here because I've seen all of this, and all of this is looking like it belongs to me. What are you doing here? He says, oh, can you hold this? Can you help me? I need a break. Hold on to this mill, sit down in my seat, and let me have a break, and I'll tell you all about it. So the man sits down, the rich man sits down, and the old man teaches him how to roll the mill. So now he's doing it. When suddenly the old man jumps up for joy. He starts screaming, oh, thank you, God, thank you, thank you. So the young man, rich man, asked the old man, why are you so excited? And he says, because I had those 4 lamps. And each time I was told not to use the 4th lamp, but I was greedy. So I have come and I'm stuck here, and you have saved me. So the young man, rich man, he's young, but he's rich, says, so what am I going to do? How am I going to stop this mill? And the old man says to him, you can't stop this mill. This mill has to keep going. Otherwise, the whole palace and everything in it will fall on top of you and kill you, and you will lose everything. What you need is another greedy man to come and save you from this hell. I came here as a young man and I am leaving as an old man. I hope my family is there waiting for me. I hope to see my people again. It is now your turn to learn your lesson. With that, the old man jumped up, put on his clothes, and left. The moral of this story is that greed is bottomless. Greed is a bottomless pit which has no end. And if we continue to pursue it, we may end up with nothing. This is a man who had everything, and he was even introduced to more, but still, he wanted even more. So he entered into this pit and he has lost everything. Do not sacrifice everything and lose everything that you already have. This is a moral not for normal people. This is a moral. It does not say that you shouldn't strive to be better or move to the next level for success, but it says do not sacrifice everything and lose everything you already have. Everyone needs an attitude of gratitude. We need gratitude because without gratitude, we have no satisfaction. Without satisfaction, we have no comfort. And without comfort, we have no calm. And without calm, we have no peace. My people, I have told you this story not because I don't want you to do the best you can to get the best you can, but just know that material wealth that you are striving while leaving family behind, or while leaving your loved ones, or even friends, or treating people with disdain, or walking over people, or doing things which would hurt people or harm people, it doesn't get you anywhere. It will ruin you in the end because you will lose friendships, you will lose family. All we have is our family. And if we're lucky to have friends, it's important too. Sometimes, I don't even want to speak about religion, but I want to tell you that the universe in which we are in now, always, if we believe in it, will always put someone in a position to help you if you are open to it. There will be somebody at the right place at the right time for you in your time of need. The universe will turn all your disappointments to become a blessing if you believe, and if you have a pure mind, and if you are grateful for what you have. Be grateful for your friendships. Be grateful for your family. Do things, share. Every positive meeting will end in your favor when you do that, when you share what you have. And every negative meeting will be void in your favor if you are good to yourself and to the people around you. Life is not easy and it's short. That's what people don't realize. Life is not easy, but it's short. From the beginning of 2020 up until now, I have lost a lot of loved ones. Right now that I'm speaking, I am besieged with one or two problems. I am so engulfed with it. And I pray every day that this issue is sorted. There is so much going on. But even then, I don't even share it. I am absorbing other people's issues and I'm absorbing other people's problems. All I can say is we have to take heart and we have to believe that if we take it easy and if we get calmer, things always work out for your good. So today's show is short. And it will give the TV channel that my show goes on chance to do adverts, etc. Today, I have not gone over. And it will give us all food for thought. Remember, though, without calm, there is no peace. There are people who come onto this earth who believe that they should belittle other people to seem to be the leader. And then there are some people who come onto this world who, for no fault of their own, fall into the clutches of these evil people. We have to determine which one is good for us. I'll tell you another story, actually. One day, a very wise man was sitting on a stone. Every day he sits on that stone and looks down upon his village. His village was thriving. There was, they had found some minerals. So his village was doing really well. And every day, this old man, he's a retired old man. So he goes and stands on the stones and looks down fondly at his people. Everyone working, happiness, children playing, and that sort of thing. And then a young man was walking by and sees the old man, and he says, I am moving down to that village to work. And I'm curious about something. So the old man says, what? He said, what are the people like? And the old man said, where are you from? So the young man tells him where he's from. And he says, well, what are the people like where you are from? So the young, oh, they're nasty, they're horrible, they like fighting. They just, this is why I want to move away from there. And the wise old man said, well, funnily enough, this village is full of them. They fight, they are nasty. So you decide whether you want to go into that town. So this man left wondering what to do. Another man, a few weeks later, was coming by. He was excited. He had got a job in that town where all these minerals, gold and things were being mined. And he'd heard that people were doing really well. So he was also keen to go and join in this prospecting. He sees the old man on the stone and he says, oh, good morning. The old man says, good morning. How are you? He says, fine. He asked him, what are the people like in this town? Because I'm moving to go and work there and I'll be bringing my family. And the old man asked him, where are you from? He told him. He says, what are the people like where you come from? He says, oh, they're nice people. My neighbors are lovely. We have a river down the, it's beautiful, but I am young and I'm looking for new adventures. And so I thought maybe I'd move down here and see how life will take me. And the old man said, they're exactly the same. They are nice, friendly, kind people. So you will meet the same type of people, and I'm sure you'll be happy there. The moral of the story is that sometimes it is our outlook, it is the way that we view the world, is how we see the world. It is the way that we project things, is how we feel the world. So if you project anger, fighting, misery, misery loves company. So you will move from one place and go there and feel the same. Now, if you project happiness, peace, positivity, you will meet. It doesn't mean that if you're positive, the bad things don't happen and that you don't feel sad or you don't cry, or etc. But it is the way that you will deal with it when it comes to you, which is the solution. So, my parting gift to you all today is, let us try and be positive. Whatever the situation is, let us think that the end goal is going to be positive. Let us imagine that what we're going through is a learning curve. Let us respect people. Let us try to understand people. And in the beginning, I said, think before you speak. Let us think before we speak. It is not everything that you have to say. It is not every time that you have to have an answer. I am not advising you either way. I am just saying that increasingly, the world is becoming very difficult. And increasingly, through no fault of people, bad things are happening. If you have an open mind, if you have a positive mind, if you have an attitude of gratitude, if you seek calm, you will get peace. You will come to solutions. We all are besieged in a very strange kind of way. And this is the time at the beginning of the year not to create difficult resolutions that we will not be able to fulfill. No. This is the time actually to go within ourselves and look at methods and ways to make our lives easier and to make the lives of the people around us easier. Let us not talk out of turn to make other people uncomfortable. Even our colleagues, our neighbors, even people who are intentionally horrible to you. Have an open mind and be intentionally kind back. It is difficult. I'm telling you, it's difficult. I am not saying I do that. I am saying I aspire, I thrive, I try. As I'm speaking to you, my uncle has passed away. My auntie has passed away. My cousin has passed away. None of them have been buried yet. I am sad. I am in mourning. But at the same time, I am besieged by a problem which is often not my making, but I am besieged by it. I also have other things that I worry about for the future. But in all things, we give thanks. I have food to eat. I have a roof over my head. I have so many things that I'm grateful for. I wish you all the best, all of you. I want you all to position yourself in a situation where you embrace positivity, in a position where you embrace life, only because we just don't know. Young athletes are dying, young people, babies. It's crazy. So let us try as much as possible to be in an attitude of gratitude and to have hope in our hearts and to have positivity and to forge forward with a positive mind. I wish you all well. And anyone who's listening to this show, I thank you for listening to the end. And anyone who listens afterwards, if it's not live, I thank you. Thank you so much. I end here.